By a show of hands, how many of you believe anything is possible? Yes, anything is possible, especially through God. God is great. No other false gods or idols' abilities can compare to the greatness of our God. Our God says in the first commandment, "You shall have no other gods." The great miracles of God that happened in the Old Testament will be remembered forever. Psalm 145, 6 through 8 was written to grant comfort, telling his children he will never stop loving them. Psalms is the book in the Bible I can always look to remind me of God's presence and to give him thanks. We still witness God's great miracles through our everyday lives. The book of Psalms was written in the 1,000-year time period during the time of David's reign. The book of Psalms was not only written by one author, but many others, including Solomon and Moses. Psalm 145 was written by David. This time there was a lot of hate and fighting towards one another, but the word Psalms actually means praise, and these praises granted comfort to those in trouble. Psalm 145, 6 through 8 tells us even if we are sinners, he will always love us forever. Psalm 145, 6 through 8 says, "They will tell of the power of your awesome works, and I will proclaim your greatness. They will celebrate your abundant goodness and joyfully sing of your righteousness. The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and rich in love." By hearing these verses, we should know that believers in God, we should always spread the great works of God. The greatness of God is shown to us in many verses in the Bible. If you refer to my handout, you will see 10 of God's greatest miracles from the creation of the world to his death and resurrection on the cross. In these verses I am going to read, you will see God's greatness by his powerfulness, majestic ability, and how he's ruler over all. Ephesians 1:19, God's greatness cannot be measured. His power works strongly in those who believe. Exodus 15, 6 through 7, your right hand, O Lord, was majestic in power. Your right hand, O Lord, shattered the enemy. In the greatness of your majesty, you threw down those who opposed you. You unleashed your burning anger, it consumed them like stubble. 1 Chronicles 29:11, yours, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory, and the majesty and the splendor. For everything in the heaven and earth is yours. Yours, O Lord, is the kingdom. You are exalted as head over all. In these verses, you can see God is great because he can be anywhere at once, watching over all his children and protecting them. I ask you to put your hand out of the way. In the Bible is not only open to those who believe, but also to those who do not believe. Your faith will be made stronger. To those who believe in God, we should spread his word to those who don't know him and never deny our faith in him. Those who do not believe in God, always still pray to God, and he will always listen, and give thanks for what he has given you. He has given you family, friends, and everything you have. Christians were punished for believing in God around the time of Daniel, but God protected them. Daniel was one of King Darius' biggest helpers and prayed to God daily. The other helpers of King Darius did not believe in God and did not appreciate Daniel praying to God. Darius changed the law to no praying to God anymore. Darius saw Daniel still praying to God daily and took his punishment and threw him into the den of lions. The next day, Darius came to the den and yelled out Daniel's name, and Daniel answered. Daniel was left untouched because God worked through him because Daniel kept his faith in God. God still works in many ways today, as he did through Daniel. Movies are shown with evidence of God's miracles today.
Yeah. He's very nice. I sat on his lap. He has markers.
Mark?
Yeah. Right here and right here, right here and right here. Think we'll sit on this one some more.
In this movie, Colton got really sick, and he got to go to heaven during a surgery and witnessing God. And like he said, he saw God's markers from God's death on the cross. As believers in God, we should be like Colton and always believe in him. But we are tempted by the devil to be like those around him. Like the newspaper lady, she did not believe Colton's story because she thought, how could that ever happen? How could he ever go to heaven and not die, but still see God? As believers in God, we should always be open to God's miracles working through us or the people around us. No other gods or idols can compare its abilities to the greatness of our God. The miracles of God throughout the Old Testament will be remembered forever. God grants us comfort through the book of Psalms around the time of David. Those who believe, your faith will be made stronger. and those who do not believe always know to give thanks. As believers, never deny your faith in God. God will encourage you and speak His words through you. We still witness the greatness of God through His miracles today. God does not work just visibly, but He is always there, even if it does not seem like He is. God has His reason for His miracles. As being children of God, we are some of His greatest miracles. As Brother Yan says, it is not great men who change the world, but weak men in the hands of a great God. Thank you.